皆さん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。
おはようございます, Greg.
おはようございます。
Everyone, welcome to Musings from Japan number 30.
30.
30. Oh, man. We did it, Greg.
30. And
30.
It's been about a year.
Yep.
I think a year ago, the month we're recording this, we started our Musings from Japan.
Was it
Pretty sure.
April?
Yeah, it was April.
Maybe
Was it not? Yeah.
Maybe around Golden Week, or was it before? I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I'd have to check.
I think it might be after Golden Week.
Maybe so. You're right.
So we might make it to 35 by the time we get our anniversary happening.
Maybe so. So we're up at number 30 right now, which is great.
Congratulations,
yeah,
Greg. How do you feel
very much.
How do you feel after 30?
I feel great.
Okay, he's looking at the kitchen.
I just want to make sure I don't show anything I don't want to show. Actually, I'm in the bedroom, and it's a good place to be because it's quiet here, and I got a great view looking out the window. I can see the clouds, and it's a cool spring. It's a chilly spring day.
And now it's Weather by Greg.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Dun, da, 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 da,
you know, I'm so interested in the weather. I can see the fresh green leaves on the tree, the new green leaves. Everything's blooming in Japan. It's springtime, in the northern hemisphere here.
Yeah. What's the temperature like today for you guys?
Today, or right now, it is 17 degrees Celsius
17
outside.
Degrees.
Yeah.
17. I look on my
17.
smartphone. On my smartphone, so named, it is balmy 5.
Wow. So that's like very chilly. That's like in the low 40s.
Yeah, I mean, this morning
in Fahrenheit.
I went for my walk. My son, as I shared with you.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good for you. You did a good walk. Congratulations.
Get out there and do about 4 miles. But
yeah, great.
Man, it was hard, Greg, because I woke up. It was -1.
Ooh, below freezing.
Below 3, so 30 degrees. So
yeah, chilly.
Fahrenheit. Wow. And I forced myself to do it. I have these long underwear things, and I put them on and under my sweats, which are lined to keep me warm. So I had double lining, and I wore a hoodie with a hat and put the hood on and tied it around so it covered my ears, and I put gloves on my hands so I could go walking. And you know what's funky? I'm out there. Okay, I gotta get out there. I'm walking, and then I see this Oji-chan, this old man, walking his dog. He's got a black Shiba, Kudo Shiba, Shiba Inu for those who are in America. He's walking the black dog, and he's wearing like half pants, a half shirt, a baseball cap, smoking, and he has no socks, and he's wearing like flip-flops.
Well, see, that's rare because usually in Japan, the people
-1.
They always dress for the weather. It could be it could be freezing one day, and then it's warm the next day, and then they change instantly for the season.
This Oji-chan didn't care, and he
didn't care. Obviously,
I think he thinks so. I gotta walk the dog, and this is the only time I can get out and smoke, because along that street, I took that street, for about a half a mile on that street, and I kept seeing cigarettes along the street. So I probably, and some were still smoldering. So I said, it's he was here. So
he was smoking away.
Yeah,
and the dog really smoking there.
The dog was so nice. Going, I'm walking. So anyway, but the weather, it is clear here. And it's going to be about 15 degrees here. It's supposed to be the high today.
I think you'll be just a little bit behind us. It's going to be about 17 for a high. No, you know what? Is it that now? It's that
you
now.
said 17 now. So
I think
you're going to be over 20.
No, I think today's not going to be that warm. I think today will be, and there's no rain.
Good.
Today will be 18.
Okay.
So it's going to be a cool day. It's going to be nice. If it's over 20, then it's getting warm here in Japan.
Yeah, I want.
Of course, you know what's interesting is you and I are from California, so we're used to California weather. And although you've been here for 30 years this spring,
but I still have the California weather feeling.
Yeah, you've been here 30 years now.
Yeah, but I can still feel California weather.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so for example, let me tell you, a day when it's 25 here and low humidity, a Japanese person would say, it's hot. Oh, it's so hot. But if the humidity is low, for me, that's a great day.
Yeah. Well, but like you've been here in Niigata with 25 and the high humidity.
Yeah, but still, even that's not so bad
It's
because
not so bad. No.
it's what's bad is when it gets to 35 and it's high humidity.
Yeah,
Or
and you
30 over 30, it's terrible.
and then you get beta beta.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, onomatopoeia. Beta beta. It means you're sticky with sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
onomatopoeia. I love that word. Can you spell it?
no.
Me too. I can't spell. I can say it, but I can't spell it.
And
And
and I
actually,
think I think the British spelling is different than our spelling.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I noticed in textbooks I said onomatopoeia. Who's right? Oh, British, UK. So
Well,
yeah,
I always defer since I'm American. I always defer to American spellings.
right on, man.
Yeah. Although our friend Mark, who we've had on the show,
Mark Ballmer.
would definitely use the British spelling because he's British.
You know, it's funny. We have a new teacher at the office. I think I mentioned it last time. He's actually from New Zealand, so he also has a British tinge to his vocabulary usage. You know, so we were talking about something about past problems that we had at the school. I think you know the problems we had at my school, right? With people,
Yeah.
you know, I won't get into details, but anyway. But I was telling this new teacher about it, and he goes, "Oh, ew, what a bloody wanker." Oh, I haven't heard the word wanker in a long time. You know what that means, right?
No.
Wanker. Oh,
Oh, I see.
I didn't say that.
Naruhodo.
I didn't say it. Right. Yeah. So it's like, oh, what a bloody wanker. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So now I have a teacher working for me who's from New Zealand, one from London. Actually, he's from Oxford, and then I've got uh and then two me and another teacher are from California. He's from San Jose or from the Silicon Valley, and I'm from Southern California. And then the we have two female how do I say probably we have two women who are teaching. I don't want to say girls. Two women teachers. One is from New Jersey, but she's not from the city. She's from the countryside of New Jersey, closer
Oh,
to Philadelphia. So
interesting.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting, you know. And then the other woman is from uh South Carolina.
Do you know New Jersey is the diner capital of America? Like I
I
think
didn't
one third of
really.
all diners are in New Jersey.
Okay, now what is a diner?
A diner, I don't know. It's like,
It's Denny's?
like could be a Denny's, but well, I think a diner is a place with a counter. A
Is it
counter.
like those the what
Well,
like those shows where you see like somebody has a bus they convert it into a diner?
yeah, or like what was that? Like where maybe where Marty McFly in Back to the Future
Ah,
goes in that place.
yeah, the old soda shop,
Soda shop,
the
that
corner.
kind of a thing, or
Uh,
like where you sit down at the countertop, or like like that movie Alice, or that show
yeah,
Alice,
Alice's
or
Diner.
and
Yeah.
Alice's Diner, and Mel the cook,
Hmm.
and people are sitting at a bar, and the waitress comes
Like
up to the bar, like
what
Denny's.
like that Dirty Harry movie when Clint
Exactly,
Eastwood
when
walks in and
she's
he
pouring the
drink.
sugar,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she keeps pouring the sugar, and he knows something's wrong. He
And
doesn't make a move.
he's
It's
reading
a,
the newspaper, picks it up,
yeah,
and just walks
yeah.
out the door, and then he takes a good.
And he knows that she always makes the sugar right, and that was her message to say, hey, something's really wrong in here, and I couldn't tell you. And he's a cop. She knew he was a cop, so there it is.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, he goes and blows everybody up. He takes
gonna-
them all out.
You're going to put that gun down.
You know what?
Hey, what?
What was interesting about Harry Callahan is he didn't care that he shot up all these people. In fact, it kind of irritated him that people complained about that. You're like,
Yeah, but that's a kind of movie now today that wouldn't be made.
No, it wouldn't be made.
So,
and what's another kind? Oh,
Blazing Saddles.
Speaking of Blazing, oh yeah. Speaking of movies, I just saw at the movie theater yesterday. I went to
That's right. That's right.
I went to Caesarea and had lunch.
Ooh.
And I had it was great. My wife had this chicken
Parmesan
with garlic, and it was rice and stuff, and it was
the garlic chicken. Yeah.
Some garlic. I don't know what it was. It
with
was
a wafu
like
sauce, the little sauce on it.
Yeah, she had. Yeah,
I've seen that. I haven't had it, but I've seen that.
And I'm just wondering if I had a photo handy. I don't know if I had a photo handy. Yeah, let's see. I can show you this. She's, you can see this. So can you see it?
Yeah, turn it down so there we go. Yeah.
So it's
with the potatoes and corn.
Yeah, well, those potatoes I think are a new item to the menu at Caesarea.
I've never seen those before.
And you can get a side order of the potatoes, and that's what I did. So that's new on the menu.
And that's a hot plate. So when
it's a hot plate, yeah. So it's sizzling hot when it comes out.
Nice.
And they seem to like the hot plate here in Japan. And like you can go get Hamburg,
Salisbury
Hamburg
steak.
So, at with the hot plate. So there's a place called the Golden Hamburg in Nagoya, and my wife and I've been there several times.
The
Golden Hamburg. So my wife was making or she ordered this chicken. Yeah. I had, well,
what'd you have?
Pizza and the potatoes.
That's a very unusual combination.
Yeah, I know, but I was just craving for it, and I was hungry, and by the time I finished it, I was full.
Pizza, potatoes,
and
P&P.
Then I had for dessert I had chocolate cake.
Ooh, PPC.
So I remember when the Caesarea, and Caesarea, for those of you, we've talked about it before, it's a fast food family restaurant. It's cheap Italian food.
Yeah.
And I don't think Caesarea would work in America. Do you?
No, because you got places like the old spaghetti factory, or those kind of places.
I think people in America would say, "What is this cheap Italian food?"
They wouldn't go for that. I mean,
no,
you'd have to go to like an old spaghetti factory, or what's another, like that kind of place where you have a nice big meal. I remember I took my when the Keiwa band went to California, I took my sons and a couple of the trumpet players. We went to Old Spaghetti Factory after playing miniature golf. We went to the Old Spaghetti Factory, and they just wanted pasta. They said, we want pasta. I'm going, no, you can't order pasta. I mean, it's all pasta. You have to say spaghetti or penne.
Right.
Or,
you couldn't say pasta, whereas you could say I'd like pasta in Japanese.
Right.
I don't know if I have it. If I have it, I could share it with you. But let's see if I got it handy.
Searching the phone.
Sorry, folks. I don't know. I don't have it handy. But Denny's. Okay. Denny's near my house has a great meat sauce spaghetti.
Ooh, good.
Oh, it's out of this world.
Actually, a lot of the family restaurants like Denny's or Caesarea, or we have what's the Cocos, or even Gusto. They all have very good spaghetti plates. They all really do.
They actually do. And Caesarea, they have a short pasta thing called arrabbiata.
Arrabbiata.
And it's very delicious. And
Yummy.
And it's like Arabian because it's spicy, and it's supposed to sound, I guess, I don't know where they got the name.
I think it comes from the kind of tomato, but it's spicy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's delicious.
I'm not Moroccan. Yeah.
So
well, let's get off the food and the weather's done. And now today's topic is,
well, there's a couple topics if we get to it, but for sure we're going to talk about transportation.
Boom, let's go for it. Because we take it for granted now that we've been in Japan so long. But
but the thing is, I actually still never go on the train or around Japan or whatever without appreciating the excellent transportation system we have here in the country.
Yes.
And
not just excellent
So
Trans, yeah,
transportation. Let's
yeah,
talk about the incredible transportation system they have here in
excellent,
Japan.
excellent system and
Like
an excellent.
world class, second to none.
Now you have a newer experience with this. I mean, I've been here for 30 years, so my experience in the transportation system goes from I witnessed the old train systems and the old trolley systems. Even in Niigata City, they used to have a trolley, but it's gone. I got to partake in that. But what about you? What's the biggest thing, the biggest difference, especially from California, transportation? What struck you the most, the biggest impression?
Well, several things. One, how nice the train ride is, and how
Are you talking like the local trains
I'm
or
talking
the
about
high?
everything. I'm
Ah,
talking
okay.
about everything. Yeah. There's so much to talk about, but I think that, for example,
Hmm, hmm.
you live right now in a town of about 100,000 people. That's it's a large town, but in some ways it's a small town.
Shibata now, as of the last month when I saw it, was 97,000 and change, and
Yeah.
Niigata City, what not it's Niigata metropolitan area is now just a little over 1 million.
So you're about on the train. You're about 30 minutes from Niigata.
If everything goes well, yeah,
Yeah.
35 minutes, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember how long the Tokyu takes, the limited express takes to get it. There's only two stops, and how long it takes, I can't
Oh,
remember anymore.
that 17 minutes.
Yeah, so it's really quick,
It's
huh?
half the time because it's
Yeah,
35 minutes or 34
yeah,
from
on the regular train, the
yeah,
local
well
train.
actually that's from from Shibata State, not my local station because you can't pick the limited express from Nishi Shibata, but from Shibata to Niigata on the limited is 17 minutes.
Yeah, and but anyway, I mean, I was
Inaho.
impressed. I was impressed with how quick you could get, if you're near a train station, how quick it is,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how often they run the train. Although out in the countryside, the trains don't run as frequently as they do in the big city. For example,
Right.
there's a time period during the day that I remember in Shibata that the train wouldn't come for the next train wouldn't leave for an hour and a half.
Once an hour,
Yeah.
and it's not even an hour, it's like an hour and then 90, 80 minutes later, and then it's but
Or
during the
but in the morning hours or the evening hours, it's maybe once every 20 or 30 minutes.
right, commuter trains.
Yeah,
But
and
and actually, if you go to Toyosaka, they run every 15
yeah,
minutes.
it's much quicker because it's about halfway to the center of Niigata, to the station, and but Toyosaka is also a part of Niigata,
Right.
and so it's on the edge or the fringe of the city there, roughly.
But every
So
15 minutes, it runs all day long to Toyosaka.
yeah, but I was really impressed with the speed,
Mm.
and in U.S. measurements, I think that the Tokyu, the limited express, the fast train that with limited stops goes about 74 miles an hour.
That's about right.
And
Yeah.
what's amazing is I'll I don't know if I can find it because I have thousands of photos and videos. Is seeing that limited express go through Nishishibata station without stopping,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going through at full speed.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, it's a very dangerous thing. It's like, it's it's not dangerous in the sense if you stay away from the tracks, but
well, what they always warn you too, because when I remember standing on the platform at Nishishibata station, and then you hear, they'll make an announcement, the Tokyo is coming, the Tokyo, please stand behind the yellow line, and then you hear ding, 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 and then it's gone.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, but you can see that bright light coming, and then see when I first moved to Niigata or to Shibata
excuse me,
eight
yeah.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
8 years ago next May, um, they had an older Tokyu Limited Express,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
also the local trains were also old.
Old
So
trains, yeah,
they were very old, and yet they were still good. I don't remember really riding those, but then shortly thereafter they got the newer yellow colored Tokyu that you have on
yeah, yeah.
the the Hakushinsen.
Hakushinsen, hi,
Yeah, that's the name of your train line,
right.
and that runs from Niigata north.
right, north, and it goes to, well, from Niigata to at least Murakami, and then it will.
Does it change the name?
And some of
the lines?
No, it's just still the same line. It'll go all the way to Tsuruoka or Sakata, which is in Yamagata Prefecture.
But what's fascinating is that even in rural Japan, on the main lines, you can just go about anywhere in the country you want to go.
Well, see, that's the thing, the one thing when Admiral Perry came to Japan in 1853, within 50 years, Japan created this entire train line. So that line that goes up to Murakami and the one in Nitsu and the Niigata line was created in the 1880s. So it's part of this whole reformation that Japan went through. Within 50 years, they linked all the major cities throughout Japan on this train line, and they're constantly redeveloping it. And I think I talked last time about my trip from Osaka to Niigata, my first time I came, which was by train.
Overnight train, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to say thank you to Rick Canfield for watching, and he gave me a great suggestion, a name for a song. So I'm working on it. So Rick, if you're watching this, thanks for it'll be it's going to be the Night Train to Nagaoka will be the name of the next tune that I write. So
oh, great.
So
the Night Train to
Nagaoka.
Nagaoka.
So great title. Anyway, I'm sorry, but
so anyway, you also have up in Niigata where you have the end of the Shinkansen line for that branch or that spoke.
The Joetsu Shinkansen.
Joetsu Shinkansen, yeah, the bullet train.
Now, and you know what the let me jump into a little Japanese. Joetsu, Chuetsu, and Kaietsu. You know what those mean, right?
Yeah, you've explained that to me.
Right, Kaietsu is the lower area, the Etsu region, which our area is called Etsu. This is the old Japanese. And Chu, just for everyone out there, Chu means middle region, and Jo means the upper region.
Upper region, yeah.
Now, technically, Joetsu is actually Kaietsu. It's the lowest part of Niigata, and where we live, Kaietsu is actually the upper part of Niigata, but it's actually reversed. Do you know why it's reversed, Greg?
Well, I know why, because it's closer to Tokyo.
Right. So the areas that are closer are called the upper area. So Joetsu actually is closer to Tokyo. Chuetsu and Kaietsu, where I live, is farther from Tokyo. So just so everyone out there understands. So everything that's named in our area, especially in the transportation line, is based on its how would you say, its location and reference to Tokyo.
Yeah, but I remember the first time that I've ridden that train, that branch of the Shinkansen so many times now. I've ridden the Tokaido Shinkansen, which is the main line between Tokyo and Osaka.
Right.
I've ridden that line so many times now I can't remember. Same with the Joetsu Shinkansen and
yeah, I've ridden the what's it, the Yamabiko, like the Tohoku line twice, once on purpose and once not by accident.
Tohoku, isn't that up to on the east side?
On the east side, going towards Sendai, Fukushima.
Yeah, so I've ridden that one time, and that one time was August 2019 to go and meet you. That's right. I took the Tohoku I'm sorry, it was the Tohoku Shinkansen. Is that what
Tohoku? But there's a Yamabiko, and there's all the different names of the trains that they have. But
in 2015, I'm trying to remember, the line name changed. The one that goes from Tokyo through Takasaki and branches off at Takasaki to Nagano. Now they call it is that the Hokuriku Shinkansen?
I think, yeah, Hokuriku. That's the Hokuriku.
Now it's a Hokuriku, right? So before it went because it only went to Nagano, I believe.
Right.
And then they extended it
to Joetsu.
And it now kind of loops back.
Yeah.
To Joetsu, and then it comes back to Kanazawa
right. It goes that area. Way. Yeah.
Yeah, towards Osaka, that area, but it doesn't quite make it. But it's now called the Hokuriku Shinkansen, which we had that typhoon that came, a late typhoon that came 1 or 2 years ago, couple years ago, and in Nagano area,
Right.
and they parked all the Shinkansens for the line, like 10 or 12 of the Shinkansens. And a Shinkansen has from 8 to 16 cars.
Right.
And each car contains about, a Shinkansen, a bullet train, can have 1,000 people on the train.
Yeah, those trains and on those lines handle more people, so they're a little bigger than the ones that come out in our area.
And they were brand new because they were basically brand new. But those trains, I remember they had about 10 or 11 trains that were completely destroyed because they were submerged underwater.
And I remember somebody asking me, I said, why were they parked there? I says, they're parked there because that is usually the safest place to park it, because it's not near the sea. They've never had a typhoon reach that deep into Japan in that area.
With the heavy rains like
they have heavy rains. They can handle heavy rain, but the typhoon rains they couldn't handle.
Yeah,
they can handle snow because they have it all set up. It's Nagano, so the snow removal was really good there. But they had problems because of the heavy rain. So all those Shinkansens were destroyed. But they've already replaced half of them.
Oh, that's great. That's great news.
It's like, man, this is so quick.
Well, what I thought too is see, you can have, the bullet trains. With transportation, we could spend many of these musings from Japan. And right now we're on musings from Japan number 30. We could spend all the time talking about just transportation, even just trains.
But what about the highway system?
Well, the highway system is great, but I wanted to say one thing about the trains.
Okay.
A couple more actually, but
sure.
One thing I'm thinking of is that the Hokuriku Shinkansen, that goes from Tokyo to Sendai, the
Tohoku.
That's what it meant. Yeah. Tohoku. They introduced a few years ago this first class car that was above the ordinary first class, which is the ordinary first class is like one moment.
I like that. I'm keeping that in that.
Oh, it's fine. It's all good. So anyway, the first class was a good high quality airplane seat first class.
Yeah.
Well, the new first class that they have called Grand Class has a hot meal service, and the seat that's like incredibly luxurious.
Was this like a model comes in and serves you? Is that what you mean by
I don't know about that.
No, it's not. Oh, that's not what you mean by hot service.
No, I'm sorry. We're talking about the temperature of the food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, but anyway, it's really, really great seat, and it's like an international first class seat.
Did you ever see the sleeper train? The all glass?
I've seen. I mean, Japan has all these trains we don't even know about.
Well, this one I saw it here when it came by. I took pictures of it when it came through. It's a train that starts in Tokyo and circles around the northern part of Honshu, and it came through Niigata and it goes down to Toyama, and then it circles back around. It's just, and then they have a southern one, but this train, to take the trip, if you from Tokyo to Toyama and back, is it's what was it, like 500,000 yen, 500,000 yen.
So we're talking $5,000 US.
$5,000 US per person, and but the it's like exactly like you said, luxurious first class hot service. People wear gloves and serve you, and the windows are beautiful, and you can see everything on But I
never heard of that train.
Yeah, it only runs at certain times, and actually, a friend of ours, I know a friend of ours that has ridden it. It's like, you're crazy, man.
That's great.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, there's so many different trains in Japan. It's fascinating.
Okay, let me while we're on trains. Have you ever done anything stupid on a train? Or is something you've seen something stupid, or witnessed something stupid, or something?
Well, there's a certain culture you have to adhere to on the train. Okay. Well, for instance, in most Japanese trains, you don't talk loudly.
Right.
Generally speaking. That's not to say it doesn't happen with people on the train, but the general culture is
I
well,
think I think you
I
I
think
think you and I talk too loud sometimes on the train.
yeah, and we were like a sore thumb. We stuck out. But I think that also I think I've answered my telephone that rang or something on the train
Sorry,
before,
sorry, I called you. That was my fault.
you know, and talked on it, which that's considered rude
I've done,
manners.
ladies and gentlemen, I've done that to Greg, and Greg goes, "I'm on the train. I'll call you back."
Yeah, and what I did was I answered it. I should have just ignored it.
Yeah, but
But I
actually on
always
the Shinkansen, you can answer it if you go in between the
in
cars.
cars, yeah, there's a space, a hallway,
Right.
because it's enclosed and it's actually very nice.
Yeah,
And the
but
bathrooms are nice. The
yeah.
sinks are nice. The
Well, they used to have phone booths on the
Yeah, I
Shinkansen,
remember that.
but that phone booth now is a talking booth, so you can go in there and talk on your smartphone.
Yeah, it's just great, and you know, oh, it's just really great to
I
ride
I
the trains.
I one of my first experiences on a train was in Hyogo. I worked in, this is 30 years ago. I was working in Hyogo, and I would take the train from the little town I was at. And the little town I had a train station that was unmanned. There was nobody there. So you just had to get on the train, and where you get off, like I would get off at, it was in Takino Station. Um, and I don't even remember the name of the line. But anyway, you'd get on the line, and I would go to Kakogawa. And the Kakogawa station, I'd have to change to catch the limited express that would go to Kobe. And then when you get off the train, you just walk across to whatever next train is. You get on it, and when you get off at Kobe, you need a ticket. At the time, there was no automatic system. At the time, you had to actually talk to somebody, and I would tell him, I would say, I Takino, and he would tell me how much it cost, and then I'd pay the money, and I'd go through.
Oh,
It used to be that way, and it was all how would you say, what astounded me, it was all, they trusted me. I just said Takino Machi, and they go, okay, here, this much money. Oh, thank you. I didn't speak Japanese. I just said Takino Machi, or actually it's Takino Cho, but they trusted me. They didn't ask to see a ticket or not. There was nothing. Now at those little unmanned stations, they have, you have a takey or a card. Do you have your card? Do I have my card?
I don't have it handy. It's over there.
Yeah, yeah, you have a train card, and
Yeah.
so like even my little station here in Nishishibata has a little scan, so you scan the card and it's automatic now. So, but in the old days, Greg, I mean, I was here
Yeah.
where they actually people were trustworthy enough where you would say Takino Cho, and
Well,
that
you
much.
remember some of those old lines that go between Shibata and down south to Nagaoka,
Mhm.
on what's the train line that runs through
Well, Niigata Kotsu, the Niigata bus station had its own train line when I was
oh
here,
yeah,
and
but some of those trains, I was going to say, some of those trains had like on board, they
oh
had
yeah, yeah,
the
that's right.
conductor who would come and collect your fare on
Uh,
board the train.
Right. Some of the trains in Takinocho had those machines. So what you would do is you get on the train,
Yeah.
and they didn't have a person all the time, but they had a machine, and it was like a bus. You would go up to the machine and then take a little number. You take it, that would be your stop number. So when you get off, you would give that.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember they had a board with the fares on it.
Right. It goes by your number. So number
Yeah, or the
12.
numbers
Oh,
and things
okay.
like that. Yeah.
And I remember also taking the train the opposite direction, going towards, this would be going towards, I guess, going towards Nada on the same line, going through Nishiwaki and up towards Osaka, going north of Osaka to Nada. And I would get off, and I would get on the train, and the next big stop was Nishiwaki. And what happens is a conductor would get on the train, and then we would go, and the conductor would walk up to you, so and I'd say Takino, and boom, and he would do something, and then give me a paper. And And it was like the what's that Polar Express, or when Tom
Oh
Hanks,
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
well, they didn't put a name on, but the guy would punch your ticket. You'd get a little ticket, and then he would punch your ticket. So when you get off, you just gave the punch ticket to the next conductor, and you walk through the gate, which was just a turnstile. Now it's all you feed the machine, feed the machine, feed the machine, or scan the machine, and it's all. I mean, I've only been here 30 years, but that's how much it progressed. Um, and actually, another thing that I did stupid in Japan, I remember in Tokyo, I went to some book fair or whatever, and I wanted to catch the train, the Shinkansen back to Niigata. Well, after the book fair or the seminar that I was at, I remember going out to have a few libations with some of the fellow seminarians,
Mm.
and I said, well, I gotta catch the train. So I get back to the train station. The platforms at that time, the Shinkansen platforms were all in one area. And so I just went up, and it said Niigata. Well, one side says Niigata, the other side says Sendai. Anyway, one is Joetsu, one is Tohoku. Now, and I just get up there, and instead of going left, I went right, and I just got on the train. It matched my number. That's number 7, seat 6, seat 6. Okay, boom. I just get in. And I just lay down and go to sleep because I expected to wake up in Niigata, because Niigata is the end of the line. When I woke up, it was Sendai. I took the Shinkansen.
Wow, you did all the way to Sendai, huh?
Oh, stupid. And
Wow,
then
that's far.
it's far, and there's no way that you can get from Sendai to Niigata at that time. So I get back on the train. I just walk around, and I get on the train, and I go back to Tokyo, get off at Tokyo, and I find a capsule hotel.
Wow, but
And
it's a good thing you're able to make it back to Tokyo that night too.
yeah, well, there's more Shinkansens that run, and they run later.
Yeah,
But to Niigata, the last one
impossible.
leaves at 9 something, and
Yeah,
that's so.
from Tokyo. Yeah,
Yeah, I was in
which
Sendai at 9.
even though it's an outlying city, or it's in the countryside, so to speak. Niigata has excellent Shinkansen service because of about
Yes,
10 or 15 bullet trains a day.
and they have the Max.
Yeah, and the Max is what I was amazed about is how the Max is the only Shinkansen line in Japan, the only bullet train line that has a double decker.
It's a double decker.
It's a double decker,
It's
and
nice.
it's nice. It's really nice. It's a unique experience riding on a train that has 2 levels.
Actually, and that train is nice to ride in the winter because you're above the wall. Because the Shinkansen
Yeah,
has the double decker. It's a little bit above the wall. If you're on the first floor, you're actually really close to the tracks.
yeah, you're very close. So
So
you don't get a view at all.
no, but if you want to sleep, the bottom is good because most people like to sit on top because they want
Yeah.
to see if they. But if you want to sleep, and if you want leg room, you go to the bottom. So
Did you notice that on the Max Toki, that the lower deck seats are actually a little bit nicer than the regular
yeah,
seating? They're
right.
just a little bit nicer,
A little bit more hip room and a little more leg room,
and a
and
little bit different material that makes the seat up.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
kind of just
it's
nicer.
nicer. Yeah, but then the first class, I think, is almost always on the Max Toki. It's almost always on the upper
The
deck.
the green Judosha, green
Yeah,
car.
green
Yeah.
car. And I hate I got to tell you, I've ridden the green car many times, so I enjoy that seat, and I
My
enjoy.
my
I really
my
do.
best green card experience was coming back from America. I think I told you, where I met Prime Minister Koizumi at the time.
Yes,
I
yeah,
was, and the only reason I was on the green card was I was tired. I'd just flown back. I just went through Narita Airport immigration and got harassed. Got on the Narita Express, got to Tokyo, and I said, God, I got to get back to Niigata. I'm tired of this crap. And then I tried to buy a ticket, and Niigata station is Tokyo station is packed with people. And I don't know why. I don't know why, because I was just on air flight for like 9 hours. I think I was flying back from Chicago. It something to do with the school, and I'm tired. I want to get out of here. I want to get back to Niigata. I get on the line, and I said I don't want the next Shinkansen to Niigata. He says it's, I said regular seat, please. What do you Shteiseki janakute,
Seiki.
stay
Juseki.
unreserved. Juseki is unreserved, right?
Yeah.
Juseki, unreserved. And they said, it's full. You'll have to stand. Shteiseki. Okay, give me a reserve seat. It's full. You'll have to stand. I mean, what about the green jidosha, the green car? They said, we have seats in the green car. Give me a green car. I want to sit down. I want to stretch out. I don't want to stand for 2 hours to Niigata. So I get a green card, and I get up there, and the lines are packed. But the green card, there's no line. So I just get in, open the door. The door's open. I walk in the car. There's nobody in the car. I said, you. Mahalo,
Yeah, that's
baby.
great.
So I get on there and I sit down in the car, and I'm going, okay. And I take my shoes off because my feet are killing me. And then I'm looking out the window. There's still lots of line of people. Saying, okay, we're going to leave in a few minutes. And then all of a sudden, the doors at the end of the car open. And the biggest Japanese guy, who was not a sumo wrestler I've ever seen, appeared in the doorway. This guy, and he was not fat. This guy was big, little earpiece, dark suit, nice tie. He comes in, looks around, he walks in, he walks past me, walks back, doors closed. Okay. Next thing I know, big guy comes in again. Right after him is Prime Minister Koizumi.
Wow.
So, and then
the Prime Minister of Japan.
Prime Minister of Japan. And then he comes up to me and he goes, hello, I'm Junichiro Koizumi. I'm going, I know. I'm Mark. And he goes, nice to meet you. He goes, nice to meet you. I said, where are you from? America, California. And so, I really love, what do you say? I love American music. I like Hound Dog. Yeah, that's good music. And he says, I said, well, that's cool. He says, he asked me, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Niigata. Oh, me too. So have a nice trip. I said, thank you. You too. I said, you too.
What's funny is I'm sure that he stayed at Okura Hotel.
No, he went to Nagaoka. This was during the Chuetsu Jishin.
The earthquake.
The earthquake, and he was going there to visit the earthquake damaged area in Niigata. I didn't know because I was in America, and I didn't check. I had no idea, and because the Shinkansen running, must be okay. And anyway, but he was going there. So when we arrived in Nagaoka station, the whole train dumped off.
Yeah, it seems to do that. It's like I rode the train the day of the Nagaoka Hanabi, the Nagaoka fireworks, and the entire car got off in Nagaoka.
Well, I mean, that's an event, but but this is an earthquake. Why would they were reporters. TV, there were cameras, reporters, people walking around with the little hand mics and go, and I can see Koizumi getting out of the green car, the next green car, and him and the big guy just walking through the crowds, and he's shaking hands and people, and then they escort, and I'm looking out the window, and then we go to Niigata, and then I was like, the whole train was free. I couldn't get any food when he was on the train because usually the next to the green car is the food car. So I wanted to go get some food. The big guy, I remember the door opened, and he goes, I can't. I'm hungry. Anyway, but the cart lady came by.
Oh, good. They let her through.
Yeah, it's good. It reminds you of the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Something for the trolley.
We have a friend. Yeah. I only saw bits and pieces of the Harry Potter movies, but what was it? We have a friend, I believe.
We do? We have a friend?
Yeah. And so up in Niigata, and he played for Rise Up.
Okay, yeah.
I remember his post, I believe, on Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was Line. He posted at the Tokyo the platform in Tokyo Station for the platform you posted a picture.
Right.
It was 20 feet away from the last emperor and empress of Japan.
Right.
The Emperor Akihito and the empress
Michiko.
Yeah, and so they were going to ride the Shinkansen to Nagano.
Right.
But he was there right there at the escalators, and he saw them, and he took their picture, and it was like 20 feet away, and it was really close.
Yeah, I got within 2 feet of the emperor and empress, the former emperor and empress.
That's amazing.
Because I was playing in the symphony orchestra for some commemoration and we got to
see. That's what's amazing about Japan also, is that common people can run into the you can see them at various places. It's so safe in Japan that they can go on the train like they do, or like the prime minister did.
The prime minister, well, he had a big guy with him.
Yeah.
but he came up to me. I mean, which is kind of
and I knew a Japanese person in America, a person who was raised in a section of Tokyo, and she lived near, I believe, not too far from the castle or the Imperial Palace.
Yeah,
the Imperial Palace. And because Tokyo doesn't have a castle per se, do they?
No, Edo's gone. Edo Castle's gone. This is the Imperial Palace area.
So she lived near there, and she was walking around the outside area, and who does she run into but the emperor?
Yeah, I mean,
and there was nobody else around really. So, but she had a little conversation with the emperor, and I believe it was the emperor that you met.
Yeah, because
I don't think it was Hirohito.
It wasn't his father. No, it wouldn't be his father. But he used to walk around and enjoy the scenery and with his wife. And there are places in Nikko, that area, that they have a summer home, and in Nagano, and they have places all around Japan that they just go and they hang out with people.
Well, what's interesting is the emperor goes to, there's a special place when they become emperor, or even
near you, right?
Near me, yeah.
Right.
Just about 40 or 50 miles west in Mie Prefecture.
Your place is I think the most important place they have to go when they become emperor.
That's right. And then also the emperor, I think it was was it Hamamatsu or Hakone?
Probably Hakone.
An emperor likes to have the summer there or something, so I don't know. I'm just speaking arbitrarily.
I think so, Hakone, because Hakone is very famous as a summer retreat.
Yeah.
And lots of onsens and mountain climbing. And I think the former emperor loved mountain climbing. So that's just a perfect area for that.
Yeah, but they're still living. I forget where they're living now. I guess they're probably at all their places.
That I don't know. Yeah.
But what's interesting is that just the transportation. I mean, it's really great, and it's always on time. It's like incredibly reliable. And of course, there are times when the train's delayed, and sometimes it's canceled or stopped. But those are somewhat rare, and day to day the transportation is just incredibly efficient.
I mean, weather affects the train, of course, earthquakes and those kind of things, but outside of that, it's on time. It's reliable and very reliable. So in fact, it's so reliable, like if a train is delayed for some reason, like here, because our train is in the countryside, I think a couple months ago, the train was delayed, and I remember one of the teachers, or the students saying that it was the train, and I think something happened. It hit something, or hit not somebody, I don't know, but it hit something, so it was delayed. But when you get to the station, to your stop, there are conductors there giving you pieces of paper saying, we're sorry it's delayed, because you get the paper from the person and then you take it to your job and say, see, the train was delayed, and it's proof. They help you make sure that you don't get hurt in your job or in your school, that your reason you're late is not your fault, it's our fault. Here, please give this to your school or employer. And it's a nice service. So when my students are late, they come into my room for the homeroom. They go, here you go, Mark Sensei. And they give me the little paper and it says train to delayed. And, it's like, I mean, so even when it's delayed, they help you. They make sure that you're not. It's so nice.
So hey, by the way,
yeah,
I had another thing that I wanted to tell you real quick.
Sure.
Last week here in my town in Okazaki, they had the Tokyo Olympic torch relay.
Oh yeah, the torch relay. Yeah, you had it already.
Yeah, and I would show you some pictures, but they're copyrighted.
I saw some of them on the Facebook, I think, were shared.
Yeah, and so, but the I took a whole bunch of pictures because you could watch it. And what was interesting is it was around the area of Okazaki Castle and along the river here in downtown. They did the torch relay, and it was great.
Did you go down there?
No, I wanted to go down. I planned to go down there, but I says, yeah, it's I've got things to do here at home. But I did go outside, and you could clearly hear the helicopters.
Yeah. Well, I guess you shouldn't go down there because they were trying to keep the number of people down, right? The contact.
Yeah, but there's still a big crowd out there, and it was fascinating, and it was pretty exciting to watch it live on the internet. NHK had a live feed, and they had good cameras coverage, and
I saw it on the news. Yeah,
it was great. That evening. But was it interesting? Before Okazaki, they did the relay just shortly before, and one of the torches, apparently in the case or whatever, it caught fire. and completely was consumed by flames, and so it was on the news, and it was on the.
It got torched.
It truly got torched. It was people were saying in Japanese how surprised they were that it happened.
That a torch got torched.
Yeah, but it was
you know that amazing. They have so many spares because I was looking on at a news broadcast, and they were describing they keep the flame separate at all times. They have a perpetual flame, the one that comes from Greece, that's kept in a box, and it's done. And then they carry a number of torches. So, so they're always ready. So if something happens, you drop a torch, as torch goes out, Nora, we got one that's already lit with that flame. And they carry that flame everywhere the torch goes, so that to make sure. So, yeah, so they're ready. They got that.
Well, I was just really excited to have it come here to Okazaki.
Yeah, it's going to come to Shibata sometime in June.
Yeah. So it was great.
So,
but I just, it was just great. And so, we're the center of town, or the center of the country here in Aichi.
Chubu.
Yeah. Well, there's so many more things I want to talk about, transportation and things like that.
Well, we should wrap it.
Yeah,
we should wrap it up because this is getting too long. I know people out there are. But what I'm going to do at the end of this broadcast is please keep watching for a few minutes, because I'm going to share the cherry blossoms that Greg and I have seen this past cherry blossom season, the Sakura season, and a little videos, and I'll make a little montage, and Greg's going to share some other pictures that of
transportation, not too much, but I also want to send you, if I can find it, I want to send you a picture of Niigata and my apartment from just 5 years ago.
Yeah, please.
When I lived there, it's a beautiful picture.
So it'll be a nice montage of all of our experiences as Sakura and transportation, and just maybe you can just look at it and go and just relax, and we want to say thank you very much for tuning in for Musings from Japan number 30. Anyway, and next time we're going to bring in by the way, I want to just shame him a little bit. My son Ty said, I'll join it tomorrow. Oh, okay. And I sent him the link for this thing.
Well, I'm sure Ty's enjoying his sleep. That's okay.
I'm sure he is. So I'm glad he's sleeping well. So Anyway, well, thank you. Musings from Japan number
30.
All right. Greg Taylor, thank you, man.
Thank you, Mark Marin.
And have a great week.
You too.
Minasan, sayonara.
Sayonara.